6 million years before history, the Earth belonged to giants. The land burned under a raw sun, and the sky was ruled by predators of impossible size. Humans, or what would become humans, were nothing more than trembling creatures learning to stand upright. They knew hunger, fire, and fear. But one enemy changed everything: the giant birds. Creatures with wings wider than trees, claws that could crush bone, and cries that echo through canyons. They hunted not for hunger, but for dominance. And in those ancient days, when every sunrise meant survival and every shadow meant death, humanity's greatest battle was not on the ground, it was in the sky. This is the story of how early men faced the impossible and learned to fight the heavens themselves. The plains of East Africa shimmer in the heat. The soil is cracked. The air hums with the cries of beasts, hipparions, giant boars, and distant roars of saber-toothed predators. Among them, a small group of early humans moves cautiously, barefoot, barely clothed, carrying sticks tipped with sharpened stones. They walk with the rhythm of prey, not predators. Above them, the sky is restless. The first shadow glides silently across the ground. It stretches long, longer than any tree. One of the humans looks up, freezes. The air splits with a scream. A monstrous bird, Argentavis magnus, dives, wings beating like thunder. Its claws clutch the nearest man, lifting him into the air. His tribe screams, throwing rocks. He vanishes into the clouds. Silence follows, but the horror is not over. Another shadow, another scream. This time, they scatter. The tribe runs for the trees, desperate to hide. The humans crawl under a fallen log. Above, feathers rain down. One bird lands, stabbing its beak into the ground. The log shakes with every blow. Mud splatters their faces. Then a roar of thunder. A storm gathers, rain lashes the earth. The birds retreat. The survivors emerge, soaked and shaking. They have lived another day, but something in them changes. They have seen death from the sky. They gather in silence. The night air smells of wet earth and smoke. In the center, a fire flickers, their only defense. The flames dance against the cave walls, casting shadows of beasts. The eldest male gestures to the sky. His face is marked with ash. He holds a branch and thrusts it into the fire. The others follow, lifting burning torches. Their voices echo, not words, but cries of unity. Outside, the birds circle. Their glowing eyes pierce the darkness. A brave young man steps forward. He throws his torch high. The fire explodes against a tree, lighting it like a beacon. The birds screech and pull away. The tribe cheers. That night, for the first time, humanity discovers something greater than fear. They have a weapon: fire. Days turn into weeks. The tribe changes. They forge sharper stones, tie them to sticks with sinew, and dip them in ash. The smell of fire never leaves their camp. When dawn breaks, they move toward the open plains again, not as hunted animals, but as hunters. They spot a nesting site. Feathers cover the ground like fallen leaves. Giant eggs, heavy and glowing in the sun, sit unguarded. But not for long. From the sky, two massive birds descend, wings slicing through dust. The humans form a circle, spears raised. One man is caught in the bird's claw. His cry is cut short as the creature lifts him. But another spear flies, piercing its chest. Blood spills like rain. The bird crashes into the dust. The other bird lunges. It grips a man by the arm. But this time, the tribe does not flee. They stab together, driving fire-hardened spears into its flesh until it falls still. They drag the carcass toward the fire. The air fills with the smell of smoke and triumph. Humanity has drawn first blood. the tribe's victory is short-lived. Word, even in silence, spreads through the valleys. More birds come, bigger, faster, angrier. The humans climb to the cliffs, seeking shelter in rocky ridges. There, they find the nesting grounds of the Titanavis rex. Feathers the size of spears cover the floor. Broken shells, skulls, and the remnants of prey lie in piles. The tribe hides in the rocks. They whisper. They plan. Then, the attack begins. A storm of feathers bursts from the cliffs. The birds dive. The tribe defends. They wave burning branches, but one bird smashes through, knocking men into the abyss. Two survivors huddle behind a stone cage built from fallen logs. A crude trap meant for small prey. The bird strikes, but its talon gets stuck in the cage bars. The men strike again and again, breaking its beak with stone clubs. It falls. Firelight flashes on the mountainside as more tribesmen join. Spears fly. Feathers burn. By sunrise, the cliffs are littered with bodies, human and beast alike. But the humans do not weep. They chant. For in every loss, their courage grows. Smoke curls above the horizon. The birds have returned in numbers beyond counting. For days, they descend from the north, darkening the sun. The world becomes a battlefield of wings and fire. The tribe flees into the forest. They climb trees, wrapping vines around their arms. Holding infants close, a mother hides beneath a tree root. Clutching her child as talons rake the air inches away, another man uses a hollow log as a shield. The bird's beak strikes again and again until it splinters. From the riverbank, the tribe's leader yells a war cry. Brandishing a burning branch, the fire spreads along the dry grass, forming a barrier of light. The birds hesitate. The humans seize the moment. Spears fly, striking the birds mid-dive. One by one, the giants fall. By dusk, the plain burns crimson with feathers and flame. The aftermath is haunting. Smoke drifts over the plains. Charred feathers scatter like ghosts. The surviving humans walk among the ruins, limping, wounded, yet alive. They bury their dead with stones, marking the ground with ash. And for the first time, they look to the sky without fear. But their eyes remain watchful, for in the distance, a single winged silhouette circles the dying firelight. Watching, waiting, it does not attack. The humans stand tall, staring back. The age of running has ended. Seasons pass. The tribe grows. They migrate toward the highlands, where the last of the great birds nest. They prepare one final trap. A massive cage built from tree trunks, sharpened stakes buried beneath, smeared with blood and bait. They wait through the night. At dawn, the last Titanavis descends. The bird lands, claws gripping the cage. It thrashes, tearing bark and bone. But the humans spring from hiding, setting fire to the trap. Flames engulf it. The creature screams, wings aflame, breaking free and soaring into the sky. Burning like a falling star, it vanishes over the mountains. That night, the tribe celebrates. They dance under the open sky, their first sky free of fear. Generations later, descendants of the survivors gather around the same flame. They carve pictures into cave walls. Men with torches, birds with open wings, fire and sky intertwined. These images survived thousands of years. Buried in stone, modern archaeologists find them. Fossilized feathers, bones, talons longer than a man's arm. They tell the same story written in silence. The war between earth and sky. But beyond the bones and soot, there remains something deeper. The memory, the instinct. When thunder rolls, when wings flap above us, we still look up, the same way our ancestors did. And for a moment, we remember. Every act of courage began here, when the fragile dared to fight the infinite, when men and women, who with nothing but sticks and fire, rose against monsters that ruled the sky. It was here, among blood and ash, that we learned to stand together. The fight against the birds was not just a battle for life. It was the beginning of dominance, of invention, of hope. Every tool, every weapon, every leap toward the stars came from that one decision: to fight. To fight when fear said run. To stand when the sky itself fell upon them. They were not just survivors, they were the first dreamers. Life 1,000,000 years ago was written not in books, but in scars, in smoke, in silence. The days humans fought the giant birds were the first days we learned who we were. Fragile, yes, but unbreakable. Those wings that once hunted us became symbols of power, of freedom, of spirit. And though the giants are gone, their memory is carved into us. In every heartbeat that refuses to quit, in every fire we light against the dark. We are the children of those who fought the sky, of those who turned fear into flame. And still today, when we rise, we carry their courage in our blood. Because to be human is to stand beneath the impossible and still look up